Phineas, I don't care if it's a Ferris wheel to Jupiter or a bionic meatloaf. I'm going to relax.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be looking at 5 animated Disney series we loved and 5 we couldn't stand. For this list, we'll stick to cartoons that were originally made by Disney, so nothing that was originally made for another network and later acquired by Disney. Sorry, Bluey.
Oh, not fair.
It's fairly fair.
Number 5. Worst. The Buzz on Maggie. While Disney Channel produces a lot of cringeworthy content, the network has very few objectively bad cartoons, mainly because animation allows us to suspend our disbelief more easily. With that said, some worse-for-wear cartoons did make their way into the vault.
I don't know how this could get any worse.
Ahoy, lasses!
The Buzz on Maggie received a number of positive evaluations from viewers and critics alike, but there's also some loud hate for the show, which follows a tween fly and the drama of her tween fly life.
Uncle Morty's House of Dioramas, specializing in pre-made dioramas for the very busy student who, let's face it, has better things to do. That's me. That's cheating. You can't.
The animation and character designs are rather subpar. What are supposed to be deeper meanings stay relatively surface level, and a good deal of humor feels like it skews younger than the intended audience. Overall, many considered it a little more than annoying.
And now he won't leave! So much for your get-out-of-work-free plan!
Number 5 Best. Amphibia. There was a time when Disney greenlit several big linear shows. The shift from episodic to linear came following the massive success of Gravity Falls. Mysteries were all the rage in cartoons, and creator Matt Brawley had an idea for a fish-out-of-water story, with several of them sprinkled throughout.
Oh, a mystery! I love it!
This doesn't really come as a surprise, seeing as Brawley worked heavily on the aforementioned series. Amphibia follows Anne Boonchoi as she ends up lost in a world of amphibians. Everyone's favorite found family trope is a major theme in this show, as are doing the right thing and change brings growth. Plus, the show's humor really doesn't get enough credit.
You saved me. You're not a beast at all. You're a hero. An ugly, ugly, ugly hero. Number
4. Worst. Fishhooks.
Let's meet up at, say, 7?
Perfect. Totally gives me time for a disco nap.
If your cartoon is about water-dwelling creatures, it's going to be compared to SpongeBob, a show that's practically impossible to live up to. Plus, instead of focusing on underwater adventures, Fishhooks incorporates the woes of puberty.
We are girls, and we are here for girls' night!
The characters stick close to stereotypes, which doesn't make them especially likable. The use of live-action elements is off-putting and overdone, and the stakes never really feel high enough to make us care about anything. Also, since they're a trio of friends, you just know 2 of them are going to end up together. And that is a long, tiresome storyline of its own. Though the show does have some redeeming qualities, cleverly named characters, endearing friendship moments, and some nuanced interactions, it's certainly not one of Disney's most memorable feats.
Let me help you out with a little pearl of wisdom.
Sure. Thanks?
I'm a clam.
Number 4. Best. Kim Possible. Beyond the whole ordinary girl saving the world thing, people tend to forget just how well written this show is. Each episode is a tightly wound plot with nicely choreographed fight scenes, creative traps, and inspired motives. The dialogue is punchy, not to mention a real product of its time.
Sorry I'm late. This elephant totally copped a tood with me.
And few animated shows have yet to match the simultaneous menace and comedy of the Kim Possible villains. The true high point of the show has to be the relationship between Kim and Ron, whose dynamic never fails to instill a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Think, Kim? How are we gonna make that work from different continents?
Well, it'll be tricky, but doable.
You really think so?
Ron, I couldn't save the world without you.
Also, it has to be mentioned, in a world full of same-outfit cartoon characters, Kim serves some major looks.
I can't wait for Latin class! The salsa dancing, the salsa eating. I already know my research project, the down low on J-Lo.
Number 3 worst. Future Worm. We've seen silly, we've even seen wacky. We've even seen zany. But this show is on a whole other level.
No way! I'm not afraid of some bottom-feeding viral scum! You hear me?
It's about a 13-year-old who is apparently the greatest genius known to man, as he's managed to create a time machine. The time machine is a lunchbox, though, so yeah, his age is still showing.
First, we scour the 18th century for buried treasure. Then we pay a visit to the gurus of gold. And then we stock up the week before it's sold out so you can finally crunch that crunchity crunch crunch!
Accompanying him on his time travel shenanigans is a worm from the future, Future Worm, who has a photoreceptor visor, titanium-reinforced abs, and a bulletproof beard. It's somewhat reminiscent of kid-friendly Rick and Morty, but the execution is nowhere as competent.
They can drag, too!
And you've already established a police force?
With just one season under its belt, it's clear many viewers felt the same. Number 3, Best, The Owl House.
Disguises! Yes! A milestone of malfeasance in my new life of crime.
This is just a trick to get me to wear clothes.
In some parallel universes out there, The Owl House wasn't cut short, and Dana Terrace got to tell its story the way she wanted to. In this universe, we grieve. For the time the series was allotted, it did beautifully.
So what do you say? Plus, who could say no to this cute face?
It excels on all fronts: character, animation, voice acting, overarching intrigue, and most importantly, vibes. It centers 14-year-old Luce Nucetta as she accidentally crosses over into Demon Realm, a world full of witches and monsters. Full of magic, and not just the witchy kind, The Owl House gave us laughs, tears, and inclusivity for days.
I'm gonna take you out when this is all over, Amity, I promise. No monsters, no mysteries, no deadly duels. It's going to be the most mundane slice of life date ever. And it'll be awesome.
I know.
Number 2, Worst, Pickle and Peanut. Ah, yes. Disney XD, the place where shows go to die.
Oh, excuse me, miss. Are you still taking a nap, or can we help you?
Nope, too rank-a-dangly.
It was probably not a good sign, then, that Pickle and Peanut called this sister channel home. Chronicling a pickle and a peanut, good start. This show is chock full of gross-out humor. Heavy emphasis on the gross.
Wait a minute, that zit wasn't on my butt this morning? Whoa!
Oh, hey, little buddy, what's your name?
Greg.
I'm a mom!
Once more, we're met with that disconcerting blend of live action and animation meshed together. Not to mention storylines that take us everywhere and yet nowhere.
Hold it right there!
Mercy me!
Are you working with Bloodbeard? Come back here, Gangster Granny!
While there's certainly an audience for this sort of rebellious, rowdy cartoon, its place is likely not with Disney. Number 2, Best, Phineas and Ferb.
What are you doing to Mom's car?
We tricked it out. You don't even know how to drive.
How the creators managed to make such a complex premise work so well, we have no idea.
What you doing?
Building a roller coaster.
In your backyard?
Some of it,
Wow. Isn't that kind of impossible?
some might say.
A pair of stepbrothers who can build literally anything in their backyard before their mom gets home, and have a pet platypus who fights an evil pharmacist, scientist. Oh yeah, we're sure that pitch meeting was smooth sailing. Nevertheless, Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh had a vision, and we're so happy it came to fruition. Where Phineas and Ferb shines is mostly in how funny it is for all ages, though the animation is really stellar too.
Welcome to Mr. Slashy Burger. May I take your order?
Anyone want fries?
With quick wit abound and some special slower moments too, this is a series that's 100% earned its spot in the Cartoon Hall of Fame.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Worst, Shorty McShort Shorts. Despite featuring voice icons like Tom Kenny and Grey Delisle in a few episodes, Shorty McShort Shorts failed pretty miserably with audiences.
Welcome them with gift bags, eh?
I'm here live at the border, where 5 young men are being welcomed into Canada.
It was very likely the anthology format. There were no recurring characters to care about except for the host, Shorty McShort Shorts himself, who's not actually in any of the stories. Worst still, much of the episodes were really just not that great.
Hopping hoof disease, kids, I forgot to tell you. Your father and I are chaperoning the school dance tonight.
One unreleased short would actually go on to become fish hooks, so that should tell you everything you need to know. Disney must have caught on too, because only 13 episodes were aired before the show was axed. Number 1. Best. Gravity Falls.
All right, let's make it eeny, meeny, miny, you.
Oh, what?
This show stays goated. Dipper and Mabel spend the summer with their great uncle in his rundown shack stationed in what has to be the sleepiest town known to the Pacific Northwest. It's immediately clear the town is harboring all sorts of unnatural phenomena, and the mysteries only deepen as the series progresses. Gravity Falls was the first Disney cartoon to include an overarching linear narrative to its otherwise episodic story, and in many ways, it paved the road for future cartoons to do the same.
Hats off to you!
You again!
Did you miss me? Admit it, you missed me.
Beyond that, it didn't talk down to its audience. Secret messages and hidden codes were constantly being deciphered by fans, turning us all into conspiracy theorists and lore fanatics. In addition to that, its lovable characters, phenomenal humor, and high stakes made it so that we're all still gushing over it so many years later.
Just a warning, people's eyes will get wet, because they'll be crying from laughing, from how tragic it is.
What are your picks for best and worst Disney show, cartoon or otherwise? Let us know in the comments.
Stop right there, young man! What is the meaning of this?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.